Turtles All the Way Down is the new movie by Hannah Marks, and it is an adaptation of the 2017 young adult novel by John Green. If you were in high school somewhere in the 2010s, you've either read or have heard of John Green in some capacity. I was a pretty big fan, and I think the peak of his work was, of course, The Fault in Our Stars, which its film adaptation was extremely successful with like a $12 million budget and $300 million outcome. I thought it had all the right pieces going for it though, especially as a young film lover. We had Michael H. Weber and Scott Newchester from 500 Days of Summer and The Spectacular Now doing the script. Also directed by Josh Boone, who is in director's jail. Shailene Woodley and Ansel Elgort as the leads too. So the movie was just a success critically, financially, and the team was brought back together for Paper Towns, which I never even cared for that book. So the movie itself was just a dud, I suppose. And by the time Turtles All the Way Down came out, it was 2017. I was like 22 years old, so I wasn't really checking it out. But on this movie, we follow a 16-year-old girl named Asa, who is a germaphobe and is getting over their father's death. She hangs out with her quirky fanfiction writing best friend all the time, and the two of them find out that Asa's billionaire neighbor has gone missing. Coincidentally, Asa and the son of this billionaire have had like an on and off crush throughout their lives. And this turns into your mystery, coming of age, romantic journey story that, if you've seen any of John Green's works, follows a very similar framework. We always follow this anxiety-ridden main character who hasn't had everything in their life that they deserve. And there's always a boy or girl that they find that is crazy about them, and they don't really understand why. But as the story develops, their relationship starts making more sense, and you know, it's the same kind of thing. I was watching this movie last night and I fell asleep midway through. I picked it back up this morning, and it's almost as if I dreamed the ending of this, because wow, I saw everything coming. Obviously, I'm not quite the target demographic, but I'm surprised to see how high the review aggregate is for this movie. I mean, it's nothing that special, especially if you have seen other John Green work. Isabela Merced plays Asa, who almost looks like a young Alexa Nicholas. She has her moments where she gives off a very sweet delivery, and then other times where she's just kind of boring me. Cree plays the quirky fanfiction writing best friend. And I mean, she's a very fill-in-the-blanks John Green character. Not that the performance is bad, she's okay. And Felix Mallard plays the billionaire love interest. He's okay, I guess. Very Boy Meets World sitcom archetype that we have here. This whole movie is just very TV friendly, which I guess makes sense. It's streaming on Max right now. But like I said, it's not bad. Like, it's a very inoffensive watch. Except if you decide to really focus on here, there is a bunch of glaring problems. I feel they just straight up adapted this book to follow the movie, because while some of the writing is a little pedestrian, other times we get quotes like, "I suppose our heart breaks in the same place," or "privilege to you is like oxygen." And yeah, those definitely felt like one-liners that were copied and pasted off the book. I don't really mind these things, but I couldn't help but to think maybe a better experience of this story would actually be reading it. Visually speaking, there's almost nothing to write home about, but I do like how swirled and kaleidoscopic a lot of the backgrounds look on this movie. It remind me of Poor Things. And while sometimes this movie does look a little too glossy, the editing, whenever the main character is freaking out about germs and we see all these close-ups of germs, it's cool and the colors look really good. But the worst offense of this movie is the music. Whoa, it's really bad. It is probably AI. Nothing screams television more than what we got here. And it is digestible and has a nice message for a YA audience. Still, I kind of wish that we got something a little better here. I mean, as mentioned with Fault in Our Stars and the crew behind that, there was a lot to be excited about. This one is just kind of dumped on Max. And I like to think back on Suncoast, which came out earlier this year, which wasn't based on a book, but it was a YA-driven movie that had plenty for an adult crowd as well. Hannah Marks is clearly talented. I actually like how suburban this movie looks. It follows John Green's style very well. So I wonder if they will use her again in any other John Green adaptation. I feel they've done them all except for An Abundance of Catherines, which I remember even the biggest John Green fans not really caring for. So yeah, Turtles All the Way Down, I would give this movie a 5.8. It is now streaming on Max, so check it out. Thank you for watching.